All right, guys, so I just finished reading Quasar while I'm taking a break, and my microwave is making the spinny thing on the noodles I put in. All right, so this is the Spider-Man and Quasar Marvel Team Up number 113. 60 cents US, it's 20 pence UK. Everything's cheaper in over in that, what is that country, UK? The uranium? Nah, I don't know. All right, so we got January 1981, so I'm guessing, let's look inside and see. January 1982, but of course the comics are made like 3 months ahead of time from that date. On the front we have Quasar, and it seems like he's a Green Lantern of sorts. He's making light constructs or something. In this comic book, it appears that Quasar is fighting Spider-Man, but if you look inside, there's more to it. So the storyline is called The Resurrection of Edward Lansky. So Edward Lansky is the Light Master. He's like the Viewmaster, but made out of light, so you can actually, watch movies or watch little reels on him. And basically, this is what really drove me crazy, is that toward the end of this, or toward the halfway point around here, he was seeming like he just wanted to get into his human body, and I'm sitting there going, maybe the superheroes, instead of fighting him, maybe, I don't know, maybe they have a beef. They seem like they have a background. They seem like he's already fought Spider-Man one time, and that's why Spider-Man is quick to judge, but he's trying to get his machinery back so he can put his body back together, because during that last time, the accident, his body imploded from wearing the suit, and unfortunately now he is no longer human. So he just wants his body back. Now here's the thing, here's the moral, and knowing is half the battle. If you need help, instead of fighting superheroes, ask them to help you, because maybe they'll help you get what you need. Now he could be a felon on the run. He might be still trying to get away from something he did in a previous comic book, like maybe he did fight. Basically, though, Quasar was trying to help, and Quasar only became more of in the way, I guess you could say. So the reason they met up with Quasar is that Spider-Man's tingling senses started tingling because there was a character in here being taken away, and Quasar was actually helping to keep him from, say something happens. Spider-Man meets Quasar, and he calls him a suit. He doesn't really care for him that much. He thinks he's uptight, and Quasar obviously thinks the opposite of Spider-Man, that he's undisciplined, and that starts off like that, and that's how it ends. They're just not on the same level. I mean, Spider-Man's younger than Quasar. According to what I'm looking at here, they're not on the same level. I mean, obviously, you can't expect a 35-year-old and a 22-year-old to get along on anything, because they're just at different points of their life. I mean, did any of us really try to be serious at age 22? Now, there may have been some people. I've met some very focused people in my life. I was not one of them, though, unfortunately. So we have, while Quasar was fighting the Light Master basically took over his body. He possessed him because he had these cufflinks on, or these power things on, bands that emitted light, and Light Master is the master of light. So, and then he created constructs of rams to fight Spider-Man. And he's still possessing his body. That's how he's able to, I guess, touch things, like try to open the door, and he just blasts the doors and creates more light constructs. But then Quasar does wake up, and he's like, "Get out of my bracelets!" And there's a show off, or another standoff, and he's realizing, okay, this is not going to work again. I got to get out of here. But when Spider-Man was thinking he's going to be done for the day, nope, he's not done. He's got more work to do. See, there's Teen Hulk. So Crazy Comics had Teen Hulk. There was like Crazy, Mad, and one other comic book back then. Was it Crazy was the Marvel, Mad was the DC, but there was another comic, like parody comic out there or something. Cracked. Okay, Crazy and Cracked. I get mixed up all the time because they're both, Craze, Crack. CRA. Evidently, he fought Dazzler. He's kind of going back through his information, like Amazing Spider-Man number 203. So we got a backstory a little bit here. And then whenever he's like, right here, this is the important part. This is the turning point. I need your power to remain whole. You must let me have it, or I will drift apart. And he's like, good work, pal. I thought I was risking you. What happened? I simply removed the Light Master source. So basically, he turned off his bands. I don't know why he did it in the first place, but I guess he felt like he would be powerless. He's like, but now I think I understand. We need to help him. And so they're looking at the machinery, he's like, oh, okay, maybe he's trying to, when I arrived, he had this rigged up. See, he was unconscious. He doesn't remember any of this stuff. Rigged up to his zoot suit, I can't believe that was actually something. I remember in 6th grade, my line was, check out the zoot suit with the reet cleats. It was a line I did in a play that we did in 6th grade. I never heard the word zoot before that, and I haven't really heard it since. So I don't think he was trying to dry cleaning it. It looks like he was, for these gizmos, he was trying to reverse the accident that turned him into the energy being. He was trying to regain his humanity, and we prevented him. If you can help me determine Lancaster is not the same person, precise wavelengths, I think we might be able to help him. Stand back. And so they work together to try to get it, and then the little suit starts filling up with volume. And then we got, wait, how did he get in here? Oh, I always like those little ads, but they do confuse me sometimes. All right, so, hey, Cue Ball, you did it, Cue Ball. I don't know. Spider-Man kind of annoys me for some reason. I don't know what it is. You converted Lighty's body from energy into matter. Actually, his integrated circuitry gets partial credit. I feel so strange. Curse you, Quasar. What have you done to... Wait a minute. I'm a human again. Why do they always have these weird little hairstyles, like with the things? Maybe it's just, bounce back from it being pulled off. I'm human again. You must have found a way to resurrect me. I don't understand. Why would you help me unless... And then, lights out, Buster. Because his spider senses are tingling. It's like, why would you do that? He was too disoriented to cause any harm. Oh, yeah, he was about to zap you. Trust me, my ever-reliable spider senses warned me of the danger. So I was like, otherwise, why would he punch him out? He was being thankful. So they split their ways. Peter Parker's got a busy day tomorrow with school, college, and Quasar is going to take him to the authorities. And then whoosh, what the? Oh, that must have been that show-off Quasar. What a cornball. Look at this figures of speech he uses. Did we really talk like that back in 1981, 82, 81, whenever? I'm almost sorry I ever helped him. Or is this the way adults thought that teenagers or college kids talk? Yeah, groovy, man. Groovy. When am I going to learn to mind my own business? Never. I never was a good team player anyway. That's why he was in the Fantastic Four for like 5 minutes. Oh, that's a nice car. So it was a pretty good comic. I get a little annoyed whenever they kept trying to fight him. It's like, if he'd have just asked for help. But then again, I don't know the backstory. So maybe he was afraid to ask for help. Or he didn't realize that they wouldn't help him. They'd want to put him in jail, which is what ultimately he's going to have to happen to him anyway. Ooh, Pavlov dog. I'm salivating now. I smell the smell of garlic. I'm having garlic noodles, and I'm about to, it's not going to be done yet. I got to go put some shrimp in it. Shrimp in the barbie. So, yeah, this version of Quasar, though, I don't really like him that much. He is a stuffed shirt, but at the same time, I got the impression from the Quasar comics, and it could be a totally different character. That name of Quasar has probably been maybe passed on, like Spider-Man is now Miles Morales or whatever, and what was his name? Rick Ryder. Now the new Nova is a totally different person, and there was a totally different person somewhere in between. So maybe the Quasar of the 80s and 90s is a completely different human or person. So let me know in the comments what you know about Quasar that I should know. Like, is this the same Quasar, or is it just because, they also could just change the way they wrote him. Like, Power Girl was not as... The Justice League in the early 90s, late 80s is severely different than the Justice League in my childhood in the 70s and 80s. So, it just could be that the writing styles have changed. I mean, in 81, we wanted serious, I guess, not me. But then in 90, it became more lighthearted and fun. So, let me know. Is this the same Quasar? Is the Quasar in the comic books better? Because I do want to get those. I'm trying to get number 1 so I can start reading those through. I try to start off with number 1 if I can. If not, I can go to number 2, 3, 4, whatever, and jump back to number 1 eventually. But I always feel like I'm missing something. All right. Well, y'all have a wonderful day, and let me know again anything you like about this comic book in person.